Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. We're here with Belle Knox, known as the Duke porn star, but she's so much more. I was telling her during the break, my God, you're so articulate, well-spoken. You should go to Duke for 4. You should develop that brain. Have you gotten in a situation in the porn business where they've wanted you to do something you were just like, no, I'm not doing it? Has your line come up yet where you had to say no to something, or do you have one in your head where you'd say no, or?
I mean, no. I mean, I haven't actually ever been asked to do anything I didn't want to do.
Right.
You know, before porn, before a scene, you set all of the boundaries. You say what you are willing and you're not willing to do.
Right.
And if I'm asked to do something, or if like a guy would I don't know, stuck his finger in my butt or something like that.
We can't say that either way, but that's all right. I understand. If there was digit work.
Then I could immediately cut the scene and it would be done.
You can.
Yeah.
Now, who was
you
on
that?
Let me ask you this, because I do feel that the porn industry has become a lot more safe. Who is on the set that's sort of like your representative when you're shooting a scene where you go, okay, as long as they're here, I feel they will adhere to whatever I want? Like, is it just the producer that you trust? Does your agent go? Like, what happens?
Well, your number one advocate is yourself.
Right.
You know, you're the one who needs to who makes the judgment calls and says, I don't feel comfortable shooting with this person. I don't feel safe. But we do have a lot of safety precautions in place. We get tested every 2 weeks, and the producers before the scenes, they go onto a database and they check to make sure that the tests are current and that they're accurate and that they're not forged. And they look at if there's any open sores, then you're not able to shoot.
I would hope that would stop it.
Right, but at the end of the day, it's your judgment call.
What has there ever been? Not mentioning no names, but a guy or a girl that you did not feel comfortable working with?
Well, no, but I've been around. I was around a situation where the girl was
the situation from Jersey Shore.
Yes, it was a situation. I was in a situation where the girl had she kind of had some type of just a normal little yeast infection.
Okay,
she was torn.
That's not fun.
It's not fun. And the person she was supposed to work with said, "No, I'm not working with her," and so the scene was called.
Good. Well, yeah, I feel that's good because I get maybe it's a stereotype too, but I feel in the old days, maybe in the early 70s, that girl would not have, had any power. I'm glad they have power to say no. Like, I feel in the old days it would have been some guy in like a sleazy shirt with coke coming out of his nose. Going, it's a yeast infection, baby. What big deal? Come on.
Well, you have to know your rights and you have to be empowered. And I think we need to do a better job of, letting sex workers feel empowered and know their rights.
And that's where I listen. I don't feel I have to tell you this because I feel you know this, but that's where staying away from drug addiction is a big deal because once you're a drug addict, then you lose a lot of power because you're like, oh, maybe I'll lower my standards because I need drugs.
Well, that's another.
And that happens in that industry a lot,
Yeah. Well, you know what? People like to say women or men turn to drugs in the industry because, they feel so degraded or disempowered because of sex. I don't think I think it's because in any industry where you're making a ridiculous amount of money in a short amount of time, it gets to your head.
That happened to me in showbiz, regular showbiz.
It gets to your head. And
that's what happened to me.
Yeah.
I'm not judging it. I'm just saying.
Absolutely.
And I think that people bring that into it rather than the situation making them that, a lot of times.
Totally.
An addict's an addict. But what you just said is completely true. I mean, I, made a lot of money in a short amount of time and I, became a drug addict because I probably always had that in me, but it really does, you'll do something that you feel is beneath you because you need dope. And that's why I don't think you're someone who needs to be told that, but just be careful,
Oh, thank you. I appreciate
that's great.
that.
Have you seen anyone who's been like out of it on drugs?
Well, what you have to understand is if you show up to work drunk or high, you can't work.
Yeah.
They don't let you. We sign releases and we take videos where we say where we confirm we're not drunk or high. And also, if I were to show up to work hungover, I wouldn't be able to work. I wouldn't be able to do my scene. I wouldn't be able to perform. So
listen, I can't pretend you're good looking hungover. I can't do it. I have to have all of my faculties.
I can't lay there and be like, ugh. But I mean, you have
Artie,
to.
this isn't working.
To succeed in the industry, you have to be professional and you have to show up to work. It's like any other job. You have to show up to work on time, not drunk.
It sounds like the porn industry is even gone overboard with the regulations because they want to be, change that image, and they have to go overboard to do it.
Well, I think that's part of that. is the government, trying to enforce, like with the condom law.
Yeah, because their eyes a lot of people's eyes are on them, and it's hard.
But I think that it's like any other industry. Improvements can always be made, and that's we want to make it the safest place it can be.
Have you thought about, and this is something that I would worry about if I were in your shoes, separating work and personal life, sex in the work life, sex in the personal life.
It's a good question.
Do you worry that people will misperceive your job and your ability to love at with a boyfriend?
How could it
or
affect a regular relationship? Are you in a relationship now or no?
I'm not. And I mean, I think that I separate it. It's like when you kind of have it's like a one night stand or but I'm friends with the people who I work with, but I'm able to associate work from my pleasure and from like my love life, but you're right. Sometimes it does get in the way. Sometimes I'm like really tired or sore from working.
I could imagine.
And I don't feel like having sex. With like a guy that I'm seeing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that totally happens. But I haven't had any issues with separating that intimacy from.
Do you worry
doing
that
porn.
other people will, like the male in your relationship or female in the relationship with
Maybe they could be intimidated.
will have an issue with that, and are you prepared for that?
I think that we would definitely have to set some boundaries, but I would hope that he or she would understand that it's a job. It's not, me cheating or me having any type of affair. It's a job. It's how I make, it's my money.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, there may be some people who have a problem with that, but I just wouldn't date them.
Yeah.
What is your goal to produce too? You want to how far do you want to go into this? Do you want to rise up the ladder in this, or do you want to study something at Duke and then change professions once you get out of Duke? Like, what's your goal?
Well, at this point, I really just want to, have a great adult film career and, be, a good businesswoman with my toy line. But my ultimate goal has always been to be a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
So
that's you're looking for go to law school and everything.
Yeah, I mean, ever since I was a little kid, I've been obsessed with the show Law and Order SVU since I was like a little kid. I swear, and yeah, I've always wanted to be a lawyer.
I sent your story to the executive producer of that show.
Oh my gosh,
Well,
what if they do
let
like
me
a
tell you.
spin-off type thing?
Listen, they do that a lot.
They would
What do you-
probably rip it from the headlines.
You
They did the Karen Owens one from Duke.
They do that on Law and Order all the time. You'll read
Yeah.
something in the Post or something, and it'll be an episode.
Oh my god!
Is there something in some states bar that's like a I don't know, some sort of
Ethics or
personal
moral,
ethic?
Right.
thing, like
I've
they-
totally researched this. There are legitimate porn stars who are lawyers or are in law school. Actually, Anita Cannibal. I don't know if she's still in law school, but she went to like USC law school. And the rule. Anita Cannibal.
That's so funny. You ever see Goldberg, Cannibal, and Eckstein?
Well, so the rule is you can't have been known or have been convicted to have done anything illegal. But
Right, that's
it
part of it, right.
excludes you can't be disbarred or like not allowed to be a lawyer because you did something that's considered socially unacceptable, such as being gay or, doing porn.
Right, illegal.
So I'm
It's not
doing
illegal.
it's illegal.
Yeah.
So it's completely fine. It's
Right.
it's all it is socially unacceptable.
We got to take a break
Got it.
and back after this. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Belle Knox is here. And hey, listen, I wish you nothing but the best. I think everything's going to work out for you. You seem to be confident. I think you're coming through the worst. You'll be all right. And we mentioned you're bisexual. Obviously.
Yes, I
Now,
am.
do you have a preference
In
in work and in life? I mean, both.
In work, I mean, doing a girl scene is so much easier. All you have
Yeah.
to do is rub and lick some stuff.
Yeah, that's great. Sounds
It's
like going
less
to Dairy Queen.
strenuous. It is.
And what else? But in real life, do you prefer men?
I prefer women actually because
kidding.
I feel that women are more communicative and I feel like I can relate to them better. And also sexually, they know what they know what women like.
The women are just better people in general. Let's face it. Over
And
the years,
they're just-
I've learned that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I trust them more.
totally. Women
Yeah.
are way more trustworthy.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you think James Dean is really hot, right?
Oh,
The porn
God.
actor, yeah.
Oh, the porn. Is there a porn guy
She
named
lost
James
her
Dean?
headphones. She was so excited.
I didn't know there's a porn guy named James Dean.
Yeah,
All right.
I did a threesome.
He sounds hot.
I did a threesome scene with him.
Okay.
And, literally, we met and we talked about feminism, and then he had sex with me. And
You talked about feminism, and then he had sex with you.
I met him and I said,
Sounds like a great afternoon.
I'm a huge fan of yours. Like, you're so amazing. And he was like, oh, you're making me blush. And then, yeah, we had sexual intercourse while
Off camera.
No, in the scene.
Oh, in the scene.
And he pulled my hair and told me that he wanted to take me home and make me his sex slave.
In the scene?
And while with about 6 people surrounding us, he whispered in my ear that he was going to take me home and make me his sex slave.
Oh, so you think maybe he did that like
he's just
on a
amazing. He's
personal level?
James Dean.
He sounds amazing.
He's like the.
Artie, you don't get it. He's just amazing.
I'm just like.
I'm with you.
He's just a heartthrob.
So what is he?
She now, for the first time during the interview, seems like an 18-year-old, right?
I know. It takes James Dean
She's
to
like
do this.
One Direction. You don't understand.
One Direction.
James.
Yeah. Well, listen. Well, maybe that'll work out. Maybe you and James Dean will have a nice life.
Yeah. We
Belle
actually
Dean.
might have a threesome with him and Stoya. It's in the works.
Do you get jealous? Is it with another girl? The threesome?
His girlfriend.
Do you get jealous?
Do I get jealous?
Yeah.
No.
Because you
it's-
love him so much.
No, I can share. Well, that's his girlfriend.
Okay. Listen. Okay.
She would
Fine.
get jealous.
She's a fan of his body of work.
I hear you.
I'm a fan of just him.
Listen, Belle, I want to thank you for giving us one of the best conversations I've ever had. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I wish you nothing but the best, okay? With the toy line, everything, and come back sometime. Good luck.
Thank you.
Mandy, I love you. Thank
Thanks.
you.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.